Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to another video. You guys really loved the last video where I reviewed Beifeng versus Vex, so today we'll be doing the same thing against Fizz. I'll walk you guys through the lane, how you can win this matchup, how you should be playing it. Let's take a look at it. So as you guys can see, against Fizz, it's like a permanent battle of weaving in auto attacks. So you kind of want to like walk up when he wants to auto attack and then auto attack him with your W. But ideally you want to run into a situation where he doesn't really hit you in return, right? So here, really nice example, guys, of trying to punish someone on the last hit, as you can see. So this minion right here dropped low, and Fizz wanted to go for it. So in that moment, Beifeng threw his Q. So timing your Qs with last hits is a really, really important concept when it comes to getting a little bit of damage down with Qiyana as early as you can. Now, we go for Prio here. Into melee matchups, you can go for Prio. We hit a nice little QWQ. The reason why this works is because Fizz just used his E. And again, he was going for last hits here. And now we have already built quite a nice health advantage. And the only thing you need to be careful of now is that the wave is bouncing back into Beifeng. So this means that Fizz will get level 3 quicker, most likely, if he walks up to this minion. And you really need to be careful here, because if he gets level 3 and you are not level 3 yet, he can just go in and he can try to screw you up. So in this moment here, the wave is pushing back into Fizz again. We need to be a bit careful here, because he can just like Q out to us, and he's going to like QW out to us, and then he's going to proc electrocute with it. So that's a little bit dangerous. So as you guys can see, Beifeng is like imagining a line. Essentially, like the way you can view this is that Beifeng, this is like the Fizz Q range, right? And Beifeng is essentially standing out of this Q range permanently. It's the same thing with the Vex, and he's like dancing inside outside of this range, but he never really allows Fizz to Q in unless Beifeng wants Fizz to Q in, right? So we can see that our team is going for a little bit of an invade here. We again hit a nice Q on the last hit, and the health advantage just keeps building up more and more. And we are not really forcing anything, we are just waiting for Fizz to go for a last hit, and whenever he goes for a last hit, we are queuing it. And there's nothing you can do about it, apart from trying to E it, right? He's like pulling the wave, which is a little bit uncomfortable, of course, because this is like not a great wave state. That's also why I personally prefer playing a bit slower into like some of these melee lanes, so you can run them down. But I mean, it still works out. You just gotta space and tether well. This is totally fine. There is a lot happening on the bot side here. Invades happening, and now there's a skirmish that's taking place right now. And as you guys can see, if a skirmish happens here, Beifeng has absolutely no issues following. Because he's full HP, he's high on mana, since he didn't really force too many things, right? In lane specifically. So, yeah, I mean, we are full health. We have a little bit of an health advantage here into the Fizz. He is probably going to hit level 5 of this wave, though, so you can't really go in here. Okay, unless he misses his E, yeah. And now he's just going to miss his E, and now we can E onto him, auto-attack him down. One more auto-attack. I would do 2 more auto-attacks, and then I would try to... Yeah, that's the thing. I think if you do like one more auto attack here, like one more auto attack right now, and then QWQ ignite, he just dies on the spot, right? Which would be a bit less expected in a way, but I still see his intention there. So let's actually look at this again. So how did this work out? So again, we use our Q, which forces the Fizz to E. And why did the Q hit, or why would the Q hit the Fizz? Because he went for a last hit. And then we W to the side, perfectly spacing the Fizz E, and the moment Fizz has no E, you can literally just run him down with Conqueror. It would also be fine to just run Electrocute. It's also like not a problem at all. And I even think with Electrocute he would have maybe killed there. Maybe, because he would have bursted him to like below 50% a bit quicker, but I'm not entirely sure. So now we hit a nice little EQ flash, which is beautiful. The reason why this works, again, is because Fizz, like... So let's actually talk about this, right? If Fizz E's this, you are in stealth. So even if he reacts to this, you are currently in stealth, and you can bait out his E, and then he's dead after one auto attack, right? Because you have sudden impact, as you guys can see. And he currently has like 90 HP, and our auto attacks deal, I don't know, like 70 HP maybe. So with sudden impact, you definitely have enough damage to just auto attack him to death after he comes out of his E. So even if he reacts with his E, this is a really good play. Fantastic. And now I personally would just like reset here. I don't really think that you should shove this wave. You can maybe try to thin it down a little bit so it doesn't crash under the tower. But you kinda really need to base here. Like, it's really, really necessary to base. I would probably just one-shot the cannon, I think, and then just try to look for a base. Or one-shot this entire wave and then reset, like, as quickly as I can. Exactly right. Because if you don't reset in time, Fizz can actually come back here and get Prio on this wave. I would even argue that it's... I mean, the situation is actually a bit hard. For the simple reason of, like, the wave is too big to hold it and then reset, and also your wave is way too far away. If you look at the situation here, the wave is too far away to hold it right now. So I kind of understand why he shoves the wave. I think it's the best solution for this specific situation. Okay, let's skip forward. Really important concept, guys. We want to front load as much AD as we can in order to get as much damage as we can. Especially with Conqueror, this works exceptionally well. But with Electrocute, it's basically the same thing. So we go for a pickaxe and we go for a longsword. Pretty nice stuff. Let's actually pause the tab. I mean, as you guys can see, if we pause the tab, you can see that Ezreal is pretty far ahead. You can see that our top side is basically losing and our Nidalee is pretty far ahead. So I would really try to like look into playing around my jungler, trying to predict where my Nidalee wants to go in advance and then try to be ready for that. And in the meantime, while you look for your jungler, you want to basically extend your lead in the lane without losing too much health yourself, so you don't sacrifice your availability on the map, right? So we are just chilling here. Pretty nice. And we are pushing this wave really slowly, because the slower we shove this wave, the more minions this Fizz is losing, right? He could have maybe looked for an EQ, but I kind of get why he doesn't do it. He will try to punish you on the last hit again, and now we get his E, right? And the moment Fizz doesn't have E, he actually can't play the game. Like, Fizz is a really, like, E-reliant champion, if he wants to, like, trade and play fights. So if you can just punish him on the last hit and he has to E for it, that's really insane, because now you get permanent push. Even here you can probably Q the Fizz. And Q him, and try to Q him again. Exactly, because he didn't have E, right? So yeah, really beautiful execution here. There is a fight that's taking place, and as mentioned, you kind of want to really play around your jungler, but in this specific situation, I think it's better to stay mid lane, because there's a wave already approaching, and you just want to play it slow. The moment something happens, you can blast the wave with like QWQ and then leave, but as of now, like, if you one-shot the wave, you are losing opportunities to punish this Fizz, and that's not really something that you want, right? So ideally you really want to like punish the Fizz as well as you can. Now in this case I would maybe try to look for an EQ, but even if you look for an EQ he can E forward and then you like lose half of your health bar. We had another Q on the last hit, absolutely beautiful. And we are just level 7 right now, and we are leaning towards the bot side, so we essentially can't get ganked. This is just beautiful Qiyana gaming. Fizz used his E. Your ECD is a tiny bit lower, so if your E gets up, like, if your E is up again right now, you can easily try to, like, you know, just punish him again. Okay, let's take a look at this. Why does this work? Beifeng knows, and this is just absolutely beautiful, Beifeng knows that his E cooldown is lower than Fizz E cooldown. I actually don't know the exact CD of E from Fizz, but I think it's like 11 seconds if I'm not mistaken, right? So what you can do is, right now Fizz doesn't have E, so for 2 more seconds Fizz doesn't have E. So if you hit this Q, you can just Q, W, ER auto Q, right? Or like, I don't know what that was, wait. It was Q, W, ER auto Q with Ignite. And since Fizz didn't have his E, there is absolutely no counterplay. The only thing he could have maybe done, he could have tried to R Beifeng, but even if Beifeng dies here, it's absolutely worth it, because he's like diving Fizz on a cannon wave. So now Fizz loses the entire cannon wave. Now we look for a reset immediately, obviously, because we are quite weak. We get our Brutalizer into longswords. That kind of suggests that he wants to go for Voltaic, because usually if you go Profane, you really want to itemize Tiamat and not Brutalizer, because that's simply a better item. We Q the Fizz again. We Q the Fizz on the last hit, we force him to E, then we reactively W, and then we have a free trade here, with like EQ auto attack. And now we are already in a beneficial health position again, right? And this is just like how you can slowly choke down your opponent, and it's just really hard to play against that. Now I would probably just like try to one-shot the next wave if Fizz tries to roam. If not, I'll just slow build it again. And we also don't have ult, right? So you kind of just want to play this slow, really nice and slow, sit back, not do too much, and yeah, just relax, you know, just last hit. And whenever Fizz goes for a last hit, you want to bully him. It's very similar to playing a mage, where, for example, on Victor, you want to E someone when he goes for a last hit. You can do the same exact thing on Qiyana by just playing the waves slow, letting them stack up, not losing health, and then just bullying people on the last hit. And I reckon the reason why he's not EQing on the wave here is because Fizz can E forward, and then he can dodge your Q with it. and then he can like W auto attack, Q you, and you just lose like half your health bar. So I guess that's why he doesn't want to do that. Now Fizz didn't have E, so he went for it immediately. Didn't really work out, but I think that's kind of the mindset here. Now, this is a really dangerous wave state to be in, because you can get Fizz ulted, and that can lead to you like just getting ganked afterwards, but I think it's fine. I don't know if I like this roam. Yeah, roaming bot is a bit sketchy here, since your jungler is currently topside, and roaming away from your jungler is something that's generally speaking quite dangerous. So I'll really try to stay here, not do too much, and yeah, just keep playing this game, because guys, the reality of the situation is that you are currently ahead, right? And if you are ahead and you just get every wave and Fizz also gets every wave, you are going to stay ahead. What is he gonna do? You already got a kill, you already got 2 kills, and she lost waves already. So you are going to be 1 or 2 levels up permanently if you just never drop any waves, right? So that's exactly what Beifeng is doing. He's just like playing the waves really slowly. And the moment he wants to reset or he wants to move on the map, he plays the waves a lot faster. So as you guys can see, the reason why I can already predict that he's gonna base here. Because he wants to get his voltaic. He's just gonna reset on his pink ward here. Exactly. He just comes back, he gets voltaic, and now he's rock and rolling, and we can continue playing the game here. Pretty nice. Our Nidalee is currently bot side. I would probably look to like blast the next wave, and then take a look into moving bot. Okay, yeah, he does blast the wave, but he doesn't really move bot because there's no play anymore. Respectable. He tried to like get an auto attack on the tower there to get the plating, didn't really work out. Grab grass again, and as you guys can see, he's not really doing that much. Like, the moment you have a lead, the most important thing is keeping that lead. And you extend the lead naturally by not dropping any waves, and this is the thing that a lot of people actually don't understand. So we try to hit a nice little EQ, we try to hit a WQ, doesn't really work out. The reason why he's looking to do this is because he has voltaic, and the moment he hits 1 Q, Fizz is completely out of the game. So we can just auto-take this down right now. Exactly. And now I would try to bully him on the last hit again, bully him on the last hit again. Doesn't work out, but it's fine. We have full HP, we have ult, we have flash. If something happens on the map, we are available. And now you can already see that Nidalee wants to play for the dragon, which is pretty good. I like it. I think Beifeng tried to EQ here. I don't really think he wanted to shove this wave aggressively, but he didn't use his E there, so yeah. Okay, so we try to bully the Fizz even more. Don't really get it. That's good though, Fizz loses a lot of HP. I'll try to place a pink here in this bush, probably. And now the team is kind of moving in. Our team is not here yet though. Like, you can see that Nidalee is not there yet. And you can also see that Ezreal wasn't there. So we are ahead as a team and we lose this fight. And the main important thing here, guys, is that we didn't play numbers. So if I look at the map, what I can clearly see is that our Ezreal is not there, our Nidalee is not there, and our Pantheon is just griefing the game. So instead of playing this, I would just try to one-shot this wave, make Fizz respond, and then move into the play. That would have been a significantly better way to handle this whole situation. And now everyone just dies. Because we played a numbers disadvantage fight. So when it comes to fighting, guys, the numbers are by far the most... Like, numbers are just disgustingly broken. If you have numbers, you can win games where... Or you can win fights where you are even behind as a team, because you are simply playing a 4v3 or like a 5v4, whatever. So being annoyed here is one thing, right? But we kind of fucked this up ourselves. If we just push the mid lane wave, we have a much easier time playing the game afterwards. Which is fine. Just going to come back here. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. You can see that Herald is about to spawn, you can see that Ezreal is still pretty fat. Oh, Nidalee is still playing well. We just made one pretty big blunder here, but it's okay, like, we can still recover. So now we can try to like just one-shot this wave. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, we try to punish the Fizz here and there, but it's just a bit hard if he plays like this, right? If he just like sits back, Qs on a minion on his way out. It's still okay though, because we get prio. So, like, it's not the end of the world, but if he doesn't play aggressively, then it is what it is. Alright. Nidalee hovering. Pretty good. She has nothing to clear, I guess. I mean, she has the top side to clear, but... I guess she just doesn't want to. Yeah. It's just really non-committal, right? Like, if we can skip through this a little bit more. We go for a little bit of a roam here. I don't mind this roam. I think it's good. Because we can take over top afterwards and Malphite can go topside. I think Mundo's just going to flash though. Yeah. I mean, the issue here is that we drop the wave for this. Like, the question I would ask myself here is, do we have enough time to make this roam work into a level 12 Mundo with ult and come back to the wave in time? And I think the answer to that is clearly no. So what I would do is I would try to one-shot this wave first and then maybe look for a play. Or just like keep playing it slow, because we are not really in a rush, right? Like, we have a winning bot side, we have a winning jungler, so it's not really like we have to force anything. And now you can see that Fizz just pushes the wave. We are still connected in this fight, and I mean, we almost lose this wave, right? It still ends up working out somehow, but it just gives Fizz like a free window to move, which is something I just personally like don't like. Just gotta play safe here, you know, play it slow. I'm just gonna skip forward here a little bit. And here again, I think this is just a bad roam. I think we just need to push the mid wave first. Because we don't really achieve anything. If Fizz is smart, he's just going to shove the next mid lane wave. And then we again get into a situation where he can roam top. Or maybe just like get a plating or something. Which is not something we want, because we have a lead and we wanna like keep extending that lead. That's fine though. We continue pushing the wave here. Fizz is currently bot. That's fine. We one-shot the next wave here. We try to dip out. And yeah, we send our bot lane mid. Very instructive moment. Let's actually see how we do this. So as you guys can see, the way we do this is that we ping the tower, and his bot is currently resetting, and he's using the reset of his bot lane for them to redeploy on the map and us to go bot, because we really like side laning. So this is a really instructive good moment of how you can switch up lane assignments. And also Dragon is up in a minute. Now, I personally wouldn't want to fight at all. Until I spend my gold, right? Because we are extremely weak on the map right now, since we are just way too, like, we have way too much gold. So I would really try to spend this gold here. Ideally like 1 minute or like 40 seconds before the drag happens. So yeah, I would, yeah, just reset here, get a pickaxe, get a longsword. And now we are kind of strong to play the dragon. As you guys can see, we are kind of just leaving this Malphite to die. And this is extremely instructive, because a lot of lower elo players that I coach are really confused if you let your losing side lose even harder. The reason why you want to do that is because you can just trade sides. Like, you know, like, you don't have to help Malphite, and it's also that the fights that you take are more likely to have a positive outcome if you play on the side that's winning, right? So I just, like, the top side of the map is lava. It's completely lava, and I'm just playing around my team. And as you guys can see, they are doing this extremely strictly. So we just completely stay on the strong side here. We play around our Nidalee, our Ezreal, and this is just how you can consistently win games. By playing like around the winning side, not around the losing side. And now we just sit in this area. We managed to get the Drake, I think. Yeah, beautiful. I don't really think we need to fight anymore. I don't really think this is a good fight, because we already got the Drake, right? So it's like, it's pretty unnecessary. If we can make it work, I don't mind it too much, honestly. Yeah, and we kinda do, but this fight could still end up being like really bad. Yeah, I think it's just an overforced fight. So this fight is simply extremely overforced, right? Like, you can see that here. I would literally just like push one more wave, reset and go top. Literally. We are not fighting for anything here. And just imagine you do that and you end up being 180 CS. 180, I can't draw anymore. Let me actually do it again, that's ugly as fuck. Imagine you are 180 CS at like 18 minutes here, and you are already closer to a profane, and you are currently starting to like hit this tower in like 30-45 seconds. It's just like a significantly better decision to make, because this fight is simply over. Like, you don't need to play this fight. It's simply a really unnecessary fight, because we already got the Drake. Or here you can try to leave, but I don't really think we should like continue fighting here, you know? It's just a fight that's unnecessary. So we come back, get our Tiamat, walk back bot here. The reason why we deploy bot is because it's the closest wave to attend. And the way you kind of want to view like Baron fights, or like objective fights generally speaking, is that you want to have a numbers advantage. This is exactly the point that I was making before, where numbers advantages are simply extremely broken. Also, you don't want to look for a fight because your ult is currently down. So I would really just try to push waves, make someone respawn on this tower, maybe even get the tower and make someone respawn on this tower, and then reset like 40 seconds before the objective spawns to base, open up towards mid lane, and then try to play the Baron, right? But at the moment, again, we don't have R and we are not really playing for anything. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to fight right now. And that's why Beifeng is making him so strong. And obviously he made a couple of mistakes already in this game, but it's totally fine, right? Like, we are still in a position where we can, like, play the game. So he's just trying to get as many resources as he can. And he's just going to one-shot this wave, and I can promise you he's going to reset after this wave, like 100%. That's also why he doesn't give a shit about losing HP here. Probably wants one more plating, and then he's just going to reset. When the death timers of the enemy team start to become a little bit more dangerous. Exactly right. We pink ward this, and now I would just try to look for a reset as soon as I can. I would even say this reset is a little bit late, I'm gonna be completely honest, because our Nidalee is already back on the map, and we are now resetting, so we are kind of, we are just not synced really well with our jungler here. It's still alright, like, it's not the end of the world, but, yeah. Now, you could try to play this Baron, but at the moment it doesn't really look like there's a lot happening. Our Ezreal is resetting, so if you open up towards the map right now, it's a bit hard because, you know, your team is not ready. So instead you can just open up towards bot lane again and try to play bot side right now. Which is also fine because we have vision on Baron, so we know that the enemy team is not really contesting that objective. And now we can just grab grass, you know, sit back. And I would honestly just try to really switch up the lane assignments here. I really hate versing a Mundo as Qiyana. I would really try to maybe push one more wave. And then after pushing that one wave, I would try to reset and go top. Before our Malphite actually comes back on the map, because otherwise he might open towards otherwise he might open towards top lane here, which would be like terrible. Yeah, I really dislike this because Malphite's TP is up soon and Baron is up, right? Like, I really dislike versing a Mundo here, and we can't really contest any prio on the side. Like, this just feels extremely ugly. I think this is another really big blunder by Beifeng, that he's not simply on the wrong side. He has the wrong lane assignment here. And now look what happens, right? Baron is about to be contested. Malphite has TP and he's not even bot lane right now. And how do you enter now? You know, like, how do you ever get into the situation while your team is already, like, fighting? Do you see how ugly this is? This is something that could have been avoided if we simply reset earlier, right? Like, if you take a look at the situation here, Malphite is dead right here for like 19 seconds. So what I would do is I would one-shot this next wave as hard as I can, take a reset in this bush, open up towards top, send my Malphite bot side with TP that is up soon, and then you can try to, like, get prio and then play on the strong side here, you know? Just a way of, like, having a lot more influence on the map. And now this just feels extremely, extremely, extremely awkward. So yeah, let's actually skip forward again. So we end up getting the tower here. So we just ignore the fight that's happening. I kind of respect that because, you know, we can't really enter anyway. So we end up hitting the tower a lot here, which is fine. Just get a lot of platings. Enemy team is probably resetting here. I would be a bit careful, right? Like, if you die, it can be a bit hard. They could also be on Baron. Both things are possible. And now we are sitting on 1.8k gold. Like, you really need to reset here. So maybe resetting and opening back to top or Drake is something we can do in this situation, I think. So yeah, that's pretty good. We do end up taking a reset, guys. And by the way, guys, if you want me to analyze your games and help you become a better player and reach your rank goals on Qiyana, you can check out the links in the description and book a session with me. So let's continue here. So we have a Drake that's coming up, we have Baron that's being contested, and his entire team is resetting here. And it's really important that you read team tempo. And in this situation right here, your team wants to base, Malphite is currently in base, so fighting right now is just bad, but fighting in 20 seconds or 25 seconds is really good. Okay, Malphite TP's in, and now suddenly your entire team is ready to play. So we have a really, really easy time just getting this dragon. And we know that they're not on Baron, because we saw them on the top side resetting, or like walking back, right? So now we get the Drake. I wouldn't really try to fight this. I think this fight is atrocious. It's probably like... yeah, and they just leave, right? And this is perfect, because you can just reset right now. If the enemy team is very smart, if this is actually like a challenger game, or a high challenger game, they will insta-start the Baron here. Which they are not really doing, because you kinda need to reset here, right? And they just get topside control right now, yeah. Like, if Beifeng's team would have based here, the enemy team could have started Baron, which they don't really do. And also going for this wave is suicidal. Because look at the tempo lines here. Beifeng is currently here, his team is currently here, and his Malphite is currently here. So this means that the entire enemy team could be on Beifeng's ass right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if they are. Okay, they are not. Yeah, he could have, like, they could have literally collapsed on him out of that bush if they are smart. But yeah, it is what it is. Baron is currently being warded by the Pantheon. That's pretty good. Okay. We deal a little bit of damage to the Fizz here. Yeah, nice. We get a pick. We don't have ult though. I would probably try to one-shot this wave and get a bit of health back with Omni Boots, I think. Yeah, you really can't fight here. I would probably just base and reopen towards mid lane or bot. Unless you can still fight. Actually the fight doesn't look that bad. Nice, really nice heal by the Nidalee there. Awesome, yeah, he just EQ flashed. A really nice heal by the Nidalee again. And now you can probably just like... Ideally I would try to use a wall, because Mundo can't really follow walls. Yeah, exactly. Really nice, honestly well played. The thing is though, that it's kinda empty. Like, these kills are kinda empty because you don't really get much for it. So, I wouldn't even mind if we just kill the top tower, reset and open towards mid lane. Really, like I really wouldn't mind that. It still kind of works out, right? Like, don't get me wrong, he played this well and it worked out, but now we don't have flash if a Baron fight breaks out, right? So it's like, there are several ways to play this, I think, and I don't really think we have to play this. I don't really think it's necessary. Okay, so we reset, we get LDR, interesting. I guess LDR makes a lot of sense because of Mundo and Xin. That might be something we should look into. I don't really think LDR is something you want to do often, especially because it doesn't really give you a lot of haste. And this is already like a really haste-poor build in a way. But they are stacking a lot of health everywhere, so it does make sense. We Ice Q to Mundo. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have ult from the situation before, so we can just kill this guy. Beautiful movements inside the stealth. Really nice. Looking for another stealth here, or a kill on the Xin. And now they don't have a jungler, and they also don't have a top laner, right? I think this is just over chasing. I would try to just push this mid wave together and then start the Baron. Like, what I don't understand is why are we not like, and this is a thing, I'm really surprised here. If we just push the mid wave as a team and then do the Baron, the enemy team has no counterplay here. So what I don't quite understand is why we walk into mid lane and like don't push the wave. Because now look what will happen, right? Like if the enemy team has hands and if they are smart, they're not going to contest this and they're just going to get 2 mid lane towers for free. You see this? But they don't. Because for some reason we need to contest a fight that's already over. Like, you know, this is just terrible. Like, this is just Chinese server, like, aggression for no reason. But this is really not something you should be doing. Like, if the enemy team just gets... They could have gotten 2 towers mid and 1 tower bot, and then reset it and tried to play the Drake afterwards, right? So it's like... It did work out in the end of the day, but we really had to push that mid lane wave before we start the objective. And it's just like a current theme I see, even a lot of my low gem in my master games, is that people just don't do that. Like, they literally just don't do that. Awesome. Alright, so now the Drake is up in 50, and we currently have a Baron buff. I would probably try to get a fight going here. So I would reset, yeah. Beautiful. It's nice that I think the same way. And now you can get your item. And you can move into the area here, I think. Yeah, and try to get a position out of Fog of War. And the reason why this is so good is that you make someone respond to the tower here, right? And that allows you to reset, and then if you redeploy on the map, the enemies are still here or here, and you are already there. So if you force something right now, you can actually get control of the area, you can try to get a pick, you can try to do so much that just puts you into a really good position to contest the objective here. So I really like this, I think this is fantastic. We make Varus respond, and now we are already on our way. And Xin also, by the way, Xin is still responding to the wave, as you can see. This is just like... This is just tempo abusing 101, and this is something every mid laner can do. This is not a Qiyana specific thing. And you can literally like queue over here, and now just make a pick, right? And why does this work? It works because of the tempo that we created, right? And this is just like Qiyana gaming 101. I would really try to one-shot this wave, but yeah, it's fine. We get a kill, that's okay. And I think we just let this Mundo run out. Like, I really don't think we should chase this. It's like, whatever, seriously. Yeah, we can grab grass here on top, which is pretty beautiful, and I think we might just be able to end the game here. But do you see this, by the way? Like, guys, this is why pushing the wave is so important. We don't push this mid wave again, and now after we win the fight, what can we do with it? Tell me, what can we do with it? There's nothing we can do with the fight because Zin is smart and he one-shots the mid lane wave. And now, when we actually kill the enemies, we can't win the game. We can't end the game because we have no wave, right? So pushing the wave is so crucial and necessary, man. But this game, I mean, this game is basically already over because we are extremely far ahead, right? But generally speaking, this can really ruin your games. And this can also put you ahead if you are the losing team, because you will end up having fights that are really good for your team even though you are losing. Since you simply have numbers, because someone is responding to the mid wave. I think we die here, but it should lead to the team ending the game, right? Or at least getting a mid tower or something. Also, we get the dragon, which is pretty good. We get our Endless Hunger. The reason why it goes Endless Hunger is very simple. It gives you the most haste out of any item, and this is a really haste poor build. Like, you don't really have a lot of haste, so you kind of need Endless Hunger to make up for that. This is quite an interesting build. I might try this out myself. And, yeah. Looking pretty good. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on here. Let's skip forward. Baron is up soon. Looking at this, I would really just try to hover my team here. You can't really push out any side waves. You can't really push out any mid lane waves. If I look at the minimap here, so... yeah. Just sit back, chill, wait for my team to redeploy on the map. Yeah, maybe get the blue. That's good. I think Malphite bot is fine, since he has TP. Actually, he doesn't have TP, but still, I want to be on the strong side. And then you can try to just collapse on this wave, try to get it done. You know, push this real quick. And here in this situation, this is again a bit dangerous. I mean, we do have good vision, so it's kind of fine. I would still be a bit afraid of getting collapsed here. Like, this is good, like what he's doing is good. I just wouldn't hit the tower, I think, because it's simply too dangerous, unless I see the enemies, right? Like, here what you can see what happens, and this is really important, guys. If you look at, minions can be used as wards, right? Like, they just give you free vision. So the moment you push this wave and you see that the entire enemy team is responding, now this allows you to hit this tower. See this? This is beautiful. But if you wouldn't see the if you wouldn't see the enemy team here, you actually can't hit the tower. So now he has to back off. Okay, now he doesn't have to back off, right? Because now you see the enemy team again. So it's like, this is just fantastic. And we can just continue shoving here. And if your team dies here, they are just griefing the game. This has nothing to do with you making a mistake. This is just them griefing the game. But if you get tower, if you get the tower, if you get resources, I wouldn't really worry about this too much. This is great. Like, I don't mind this at all. I think this is fantastic. So, we get a tower. And the enemy team doesn't have waves. So even if they win the fight, they can't really end the game. Because they don't have a mid wave. Exactly, we get the tower, we get the inhib. You can probably just one-shot this guy. I think ER, QWQ, auto should kill. Yeah, I think if we played it a bit more patient, we can end the game here. But it's fine. We end up getting the kill. I'm pretty sure we built into either Death Dance or GA here. I think personally I would go for GA. Now we kind of walk into the Baron pit here, try to contest the objective. Mundo TPs, Malphite isn't there. Do you see how they retreat here? Why do they retreat? Well, Malphite is not here yet, and Mundo is TPing to this spot, right? So now you have a 4v5, and if you play a 4v5, this means that you are going to lose. And that is really, really simple. But, like, just executing that and realizing that in the game is insanely important. And really good pings by him, really good communication that he doesn't want to take the fight. So, yeah, that's absolutely great. Awesome. Nice. Yeah, we push the mid lane wave first this time, which secures us the Baron, and now we can reset. And now again, instead of just, like, trying to end in a rushed way, we play for the Elder Drake here. Why? Because we can guarantee the Elder. We have permanent push, there is absolutely nothing bad that can happen. So we can literally just win the fight, and after the fight we can either end the game or go for the Elder if we can't kill everyone. But we can kill everyone here, we get the kill. And now the enemy team is going to FF, and the game is about to end. Guys, if you enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you think about this game and about the things that I told you. Maybe there's something you can take away from this. And yeah, thanks a lot guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, bye bye, have a nice one.